Jumping the gun. Jumping the gun. Here I go again. Here I go again. I stay doing that. I had to reset my YOLO live. Thank you so much, Yvette Sanchez. Thank you so much for joining in, and thank you so much for telling me that my audio was out. Always trying to compromise the live. Big Drip Clothing. Yo, I looked at your hat today. It's on my nightstand, and I almost wore it today, Mom. Big Drip. So shouts out to you, man. Thank you so much for joining in. So guys, as you guys are joining in, please hit the like button so more people can be notified that I am now, in fact, live. Got a bunch of stuff to talk about today. And I've been getting told that people aren't getting notifications. So maybe we need to like spark up the algorithm or something like that. Like tell people, like, just hit the like button and interact with the video more so that people can be notified that I'm live. I'm not sure what's going on the back end of YouTube. Linda, make sure you can hear me now. Linda, you should be able to hear me now because my audio is on now. All right, so very uneventful day today. Woke up in the morning, went to the gym. After that, came downstairs to the studio and started messing around with my My Screen. My My Screen is my little small screen print setup, guys. For those of you guys that don't know what that is, it's a device. It's a small little device that enables you to stick screens onto a basic rectangle, and you can put it through this machine. It burns the screen. With the app on your cell phone, I can send the actual image to the My Screen device. I put the screen in, push the thing down, and it burns the screen for me. Now, I also have these metal frames that go around the screen to give it some more tension and to make things tight so I can put it on my one station, one color screen press over there I got behind the camera. So I did some experiments and I posted, and I purposely did a whole bunch of stuff while I was pushing the ink with the squeegee, just to push the boundaries of what that thing can do and what the exposure, what the screen can do with the My Screen. And I was very, very, very surprised today. So those of you guys that follow me on Instagram, you probably saw what I posted on Instagram of what I did. And on Instagram, I asked if people could tell what print method I use. And to my surprise, and I was actually surprised, maybe I'm like underestimating you guys a lot. I am underestimating you guys a lot, but if you're not following me on Instagram, by the way, go ahead and follow me, A-Dubb Productions. You would have saw this already. But I posted and asked people what print method they thought it was. And to my surprise, most people guessed right. Most people said screen printing. As a matter of fact, I think everybody said screen printing. I don't think one person got it wrong. I'm going to my Instagram right now so I can see. I don't think one person got it wrong. And I'm very, very impressed because that means that everybody is very, very aware in the industry that they're in. You can look at different things and you can tell exactly what it is, right? But I'm thinking some people might have said DTF because I do DTF so much. Or even, and what I tried to do with the screen print, I went over it like maybe 8 times to get it nice and thick. But everybody guessed right. They guessed screen print. I guess they zoomed in and they could see the fibers of their shirt and the way the ink was laid down into the garment. So with that being said, guys, I'm gonna keep on telling you guys what I think is right for your garment decorating paths. And if you are not playing around or figuring out a way that you can implement screen printing into the mix of the services that you offer, you might be doing yourself a disservice. Don't get discouraged. Just do a little bit of research, because there are all types of price points. Like right now, more than ever, there are all types of price points. The barrier to entry is really low, and you can get in at different price points. Whatever your price point is, you can get into screen printing, right? So right now, what I see a lot of DIYers are doing, right? A lot of, like, I would say crafters, what they're doing is they're taking vinyl and they're cutting out the negative and they're just taping it onto an actual screen and they're using that, right? Or they're just taking the vinyl and you can put it on the actual thing. And like, there's so many different ways, but just do some research. You don't necessarily need a My Screen or a GoPro Pro like I got. You don't necessarily need to do it the traditional way with a big old exposure unit and the traditional way. You don't necessarily need to do all that. And guys, like I said, by the way, as you guys are joining in, let me know where you're viewing from. It's just nice for me to know, and give this video a thumbs up so it gets shared out a little bit more. Let me bring up the chat so I can see, because the chat that I'm looking at is quite slower than what I'm looking at on my screen. And where is it? I can't even find it on my phone, man. Normally I can find it really easy. Videos, home. Yeah, I can't see the live on my phone right now. I don't know what's going on. But anyhow, guys, let me get started with this video and what I want to talk to you guys about. All right, so run it back. Mess that all up. Sometimes you fumble it. Here we go. Gotta get it right for y'all. Gotta get it right for y'all. Gotta get it right for y'all. And when we don't get it right, we run it back. Yeah. I'm about to start rapping for y'all before the live streams get started. Beats are crazy. So today I wanted to show you guys, I thought it'd be interesting if we just reviewed what Complex Magazine thought was some of the top 10 fashion trends that they predicted would be hot in 2026, right? I think this is stuff that we need to pay attention to, guys. And as you're looking at it, remember what I said earlier in this video, okay? Just keep that in mind. Remember what I said earlier in this video as you're looking at it. Okay, so let's switch over and so you guys see what I'm seeing right here. Okay, so top 10 fashion trends we think will run streetwear in 2026. From colorful camo to 2010s Nike basketball sneakers, these are the trends we expect to see come back in a big way this year. Let me know if you guys agree with them, guys. So already I see this huge print right there. That could be vinyl. That could be screen print. That could even be DTF. So we got that covered. Okay. So first one, Don Decor. What the heck is Don Decor, guys? We see the design. It's on the back of the denim. When I hear Donda, I'm thinking about like Diddy. No, not Diddy. I'm thinking about Kanye when I hear Donda, because that's what one of his albums was named. But I'm also associating it with this type of font, if that's appropriate. But let's read what exactly Don Decor is. Yeah, look at that. Kanye West has plenty of iconic style eras, but none better than the pocket between Yeezus and the life of Pablo. From 2014 to 2016, with the 10th anniversary of the TLOP coming up in February, expect to see old merch coming out of closets, dusting off some of the old merch, but it isn't the amazing tour merch, right? It's likely to be the creations from the entire creative cohort surrounding Ye, and at the time will resurface. All right, so I looked at this before I went live, and I wanted you guys to see the contrast in what Complex is showing versus what Ye has on his website. And for those of you guys that don't know what Ye's website is, it's Yeezy.com. So let's bring up Yeezy.com real fast to see the contrast and what they're predicting versus what Ye has on his website. Now, I thought this was interesting to show you guys because I don't see that Ye is selling any of this type of stuff that Complex Magazine predicted. It's still like the plain Jane stuff that Ye has on his website. Nothing really fancy. Only thing that I see with some type of print on it is this hoodie right here. All right, that's it. That's all I see with some type of ink on it. Is that hoodie right there. And I think we can all agree that this stuff is rather boring, right? And no diss to Ye, I don't want no smoke, but I think that we can all agree that this stuff is kind of basic. And it's obvious that that's the look that he was going for. So kudos to Ye. It's a very good fashion line, very successful. So listen, I can't say nothing about it, to be honest, right? Okay, so that's the one thing Complex predicted. So let's go on to the next thing that they're saying right here. All right, so that was Don Decor. All right, next is hockey jerseys. All right, we all know what that is. We all have rocked hockey jerseys. Over the past 2 years, it feels like every brand has given us their take on the football and soccer jerseys. Throwbacks, NBA jerseys saw a boost in popularity thanks to large part to Playboy Cardi. Vintage NASCAR jackets covered in colorful sponsors stayed in rotation, but for some reason, people have been sleeping on hockey jerseys. That should change in 2026. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I haven't seen much of a hockey jersey appearance yet. But again, we're only in January, so we'll see what happens. But one thing for sure, two things for certain, hockey jerseys are hot and have been hot. All right, so that's hockey jerseys right there. All right, colorful camo. I'm just gonna say flat out, I think they're wrong on this. I think they're wrong on this. I could see regular camo. I could see maybe black and white camo. Maybe some women wearing a pink and black style, but the other colorful camos, I don't see it in 2026. You guys in the chat, let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you guys think. You think colorful camos are coming in 2026? I don't think so. I'm saying no. I'm disagreeing with Complex. Dion Edwards says, what up, A-Dubb? Dion Edwards checking in from Milwaukee. What's going on, Dion? Shout out to you. Milwaukee, Wisconsin in the building. Thank you so much for tuning in. All right, colorful camo. Let's go to the next one. Khakis. I can definitely see this. I can definitely see me rocking something like this because one, khakis are they're very relaxing. They're very comfortable if you wear the right size khakis, right? So the way the pictures they're showing it, the khakis are very flowy and they're very nice. They're very airy. So let's see. Between the quarter zips and the rugby sweaters, there was clearly an appetite for prep in 2025. One of the pieces that the preppy uniform we haven't seen fully embraced just yet, khakis. Yes, these aren't the most flattering on some people. You may immediately think of Jake from State Farm. Jake, you guys know Jake from State Farm, right? Yeah. You may think of Jake from State Farm when you think of boring pants, but there will be stylish folks who can freak. Yo, my eyes is going crazy right now. My glasses are upstairs. I do wear reading glasses, guys. But there will be stylish folks who can freak this humble garment. All right. So they're estimating khakis. They're thinking khakis. I agree with them. But I've been wearing khakis all throughout, so that's nothing to me. But yeah, I agree with them. I think khakis are going to be a big factor in 2026. All right, so 2010s Nike basketball sneakers. I don't think so. I'm going to say it flat out. I don't think so. And I'm going to tell you why I don't think so. I think right now Nikes are trending down. I think people are looking for other styles, other sneaker brands to wear. I think New Balance is going to be hot all 2026. I think Converse is going to play have a little jump in 2026. This is going to sound crazy to you guys. This is going to sound crazy, especially since Steph Curry ditched. Well, they don't have an affiliation right now, but I really think that people are looking for, like not so big name brands, right? Let's face it, Nike's always gonna be popular, but I don't see them making like a huge resurgence and I don't see them being as dominant as they've been previous years. Let me know what you guys think in the chat. Yeah, Yvette Sanchez says she agrees with the khakis, but yeah, I'm saying no. I've seen a lot of regular camos here in Connecticut where I'm visiting. Okay, but have you seen the colorful khakis though? I haven't seen the colorful khakis, and I don't think that's gonna happen. Along with this Nike prediction, I don't think it's gonna happen. Yeah. The seeds have been planted. The shot 001 Adidas AEs and Nike GT Future, provided that there is an appetite for basketball sneakers in this lifestyle space right now. Now, the only logic next step is to fully restore the feeling and revisit the golden era of Nike basketball. LeBron 9s, KD 6s, rocking Kobe's with G. I think this could possibly be a play like where a Nike exec reached out to Complex to get put on this list. I'm not trusting this list because you know that happens sometimes in the industry, right? But I don't see it. I don't see it. I see people veering away. Is it just me? Is it just me? Do you feel like people are kind of like swaying away from Nike because Nike's been around for so long and there's nothing really special about it, right? What do you guys think? I'm not sure. Michael says the gray camel was hot in the 90s. It's coming back, and the purple and pink. Oh, so you think so? Okay. Well, hey, you know what? What's hot? What's crazy is from state to state here in the United States, what's hot in certain areas is not in certain areas. Like New York and Philly. New York clothes and the way they dress is not here in Philly. Philly clothes, as opposed to what people wear in Harrisburg or even in Baltimore or maybe even in DC, totally different styles. I would say Philadelphia and Chester is kind of similar, but yeah, from state to state, styles vary a lot. So Michael says Nike all day. I don't think so. I think people are veering away from Nikes. Okay, next is G-Shock watches. All right, they're predicting G-Shock watches. I agree. I can see this making a comeback, especially since the climate right now is trending towards like older fashion that like people already like pieces that people might already have in their closet. Like I know I have like 4 G-Shock watches, different colors. I have a camo G-Shock watch. I have a red G-Shock watch. I have a clear G-Shock watch, and I have something like this, but mine is a red, white, and blue G-Shock watch in my arsenal. And they're all old, right? So people, and there's reasons why things are trending this way. Things are trending towards people wearing what they already have and not really buying, not really adding that many new pieces, because the climate and the economy has a lot to do with what people are going to be trending and wearing, right? Like people are shopping more frugal. I'm quite sure those of you guys that have shops and stuff like that can attest to being a bit less busy than you were last year, you know? So let me know what you guys think. It says a Rolex will never go out of style, and for that reason alone, they're perennial, that's a huge word right there, coveted accessory. They, of course, what the hell? Who typed this? Are you guys seeing this? They, of course, the problem is the price. Hence the G-Shock, which is affordable and due for a comeback. Now, see, that's exactly what I'm saying. Affordable and due for a comeback. Because the fact that they're affordable, people probably already have a bunch of them. They're due for a comeback. I agree with this, 100%. All right, next thing. All right, Chelsea boots. I'm going to say with the Chelsea boots, depends on where you live. It depends on where you live, and it depends on how old you are. I'm going to say. So I'm in the middle with the Chelsea boots. Let me know what you guys think with the Chelsea boots. What do you guys think with the Chelsea boots? I'm in the middle. I'm like 50-50 with this. Some maybe not. But overall, I can see it because I think people are going to kind of like trend towards dressing a little bit more suave, if you will, or a little bit more I think fashion is going to be in its whole part. Fashion and creativity is going to get mixed together a lot and implemented this whole year in 2026, right? I think people are going to like be willing to express themselves and do things and wear things that they normally wouldn't have worn previous years. I think 2026 is going to be the start of that. All right, so let's read what they got to say about this. We think the world might be ready to embrace the Chelsea boot again. In 2025, we saw sneakers get sleeker, So it only makes sense that a slimmer boot may be embraced in the new year. Plus, pants are getting skinnier again, so the proportions will work out. So I have to agree with that with the Chelsea boots. Okay, now let's see the next thing. Three-quarter sleeves. That's a 100% yes. 100% yes. And I'll tell you why in a second. Let me read some comments. Michael says, I'm a Rolex fan. I'm a Rolex watch fan. Shout out to you. Rolex will always hold value and never go out of style. I see Philly wearing everything Baltimore does, just like New York City. I don't think so. I think Philly and Baltimore and New York have very, very different styles, especially Philly and New York. Very, very different styles, I think. And Baltimore, I think, is influenced more by DC than it is Philly, because Baltimore is closer to DC than it is Philly. I think Baltimore is influenced more by DC than in Philly. All right. So, and you say you see Philly wearing everything Baltimore wears. I think it would be the other way around, champ, to be honest, because we have our own way of dressing. We have our own way of talking. In Baltimore, people from Baltimore, they even talk different. They don't even use the same slang as Philly people. And that whole hip hop scene, all that like is kind of related. Like the way people talk and the way people dress, it's like this. And Baltimore people don't talk and they don't dress like Philly people dress at all. So I totally disagree with that. But hey, that's why we're here to talk about it, right? So Yvette says, I still have my old G-Shock and I was thinking of bringing it back out. Why not? What if swatches came back in style, or calculator watches? I think that they will, and I think they are in style. It's just a matter of, if you have one, put it on. Why not? You know what I mean? Because if you go into any malls, you'll see the swatch stores are there. You see swatch stores. What's that other popular watch? It's not G-Shock. G-Shocks are more so in like Macy's and stuff like that. You'll see them they got a G-Shock section. But like in the malls, I think it's a swatch. I think it's the swatch stores that are in the actual mall, like in the galleries and stuff like that. I think they have swatch stores in there. Excuse me. All right. I wouldn't wear skinny jeans or sweats. That's what Michael says. Michael Oak says, I wouldn't wear skinny jeans or sweats. Nothing wrong with that. If that's, you know what I mean? I don't think I definitely I probably own some skinny jeans, but mine aren't like tight. Like, you know how you see some celebrities and they're like, or some rappers and stuff, and they're super tight? Nah, I can't. I have to be somewhat comfortable. So my skinny jeans are like form fitting, but they're not tight to the point where you can see the contours of my thigh muscles and stuff like that, if that makes sense. So they're still like close to my leg, but I still have a little bit of bag, a little bit of space in them. So there's an in-between skinny jean also, right? And that's what mine is. Unless you want to go true skinny jeans, it's like really, really super tight. That's a no-go for me, right? That's rock star stuff. So I'm cool on that. All right. So yeah, I'm from Baltimore and I spend a lot of time in Philly and New York. Okay, well, if you spend a lot of time in Philly and New York, then you know that New York and Baltimore are totally different. And then you know that Baltimore and Philly is totally different, because I work for the train system. I worked for Amtrak for over 20 years, and I rode the train and stopped in cities and picked up people from all these different cities between Boston all the way down to Washington all the time. And I even visited people, friends that I had in Baltimore. Y'all style is totally different than our style, bro. Y'all even talk different. And you know for a fact y'all talk different. Baltimore, y'all don't talk like nobody. Y'all talk like y'all got your own slang. Y'all even got your own music. The style of fast music. Now, I'm not sure how old you are, but like the people I hung out with, like, nah, bro, y'all style is totally different. You can't say Baltimore and Philly is the same. It's some. I need somebody else to chime in on this one. I agree. I live with New York, different styles than where my cousins are in Philly. 100%. Like, especially the New York street guys versus the Philly street guys, totally different. New York is, in my opinion, a lot of New York people, like, it's like different sets. New York is so diverse, it's different sets, right? So the New York street guys, they're like they're still baggy, they're still Tim boots, right? They Timberland boots. Philly got a few people still wearing Timbs, right? That was more so when I was in high school, but it's still people wearing Timberlands in Philly. But wearing Timberlands on a day-to-day basis started in New York. I'm just gonna put it out there. That started in New York. New York started that. I'm not even gonna lie. And Philly was influenced by that, right? But Philly does have a certain style that's different from New York. Philly's more toned down. New York is more Avarex, right? And loud and rambunctious. That's just what I've observed, right? And New York has the other side, where I said there's two sides. New York has that other side where people like to dress more like it's fashion week, right? So there's two different styles. So I don't know, just what I've observed. Just what I've observed. Only mall left is King of in Philly. Yeah, King of Prussia. It's like five minutes away from my house right now. So I was there today, as a matter of fact. And Town Square. No, there's more malls. There's they call it, what do they call it? Fashion District. That was the Gallery, formerly known as the Gallery. Fashion District. That's a mall. You got Springfield Mall, which is trash. Then you got Philly Mills, they call it. That was old Franklin Mills, but I think that's like on its way out. Or is it closed already? I'm not sure. But there's still a few different malls in Philly, right? There's Willow Grove Mall. There's a few different malls in Philly. It's not just King of Prussia. King of Prussia is the most popular mall. It's the most popular mall. Matter of fact, people from New York come to shop at the King of Prussia Mall because our mall is dope. It's like one of the best malls in the United States, right? There's quite a few that's better that I've been to, but King of Prussia Mall is up there amongst like the top 5 in the whole United States. You know what I mean? Legendary. If you come to Philly, people leave Philly to go to the suburbs out here and go to King of Prussia Mall all day. So yeah, one of the most popular mall. We are all G Unit, use, etc. Where? We all wore G Unit, used, etc. And I'm 51. Yeah, I had some G Unit sneakers. I had those, I think used, it's like, is that like the jeans? I think I had that like in elementary and middle school. Middle school probably. Yeah. So that was middle school for me when that was out. And G Unit was definitely middle school also. Middle school / high school for me, I think. I'm not sure. But yeah. But once again, you're from Baltimore, but you're saying we all wore G Unit. But let's not forget, G Unit started in New York. That's 50 Cent's brand. That started in New York. So without 50 Cent, there is no wearing G Unit. That started in New York. So you can't say we all wore it. So that means Baltimore was influenced by New York, because if Baltimore people started wearing G Unit stuff, and G Unit started in New York because 50 Cent is from New York, he started his rap career in New York, and if without no 50 Cent, there is no G Unit. There is no G Unit clothing line without 50 Cent. Hence, it started in New York, and everybody else is influenced by New York as far as G Unit is concerned. So, you know what I mean? That's how that goes. You got to give credit when credit's due, man. You can't just claim something, and you got to know the history where it started. You know what I'm saying? So you got to you got to give New York their props, and I got to give everybody their props for being original. Just like the Baltimore music. When you hear that Baltimore go-go music, right? I guess it's a touch of DC also, but Baltimore has a specific style of music that they play on the radio that they do not play anywhere else, and it's the go-go in Baltimore is a little bit different from the go-go in DC. Little bit different. The twang in Baltimore is 100% different than the twang in DC. Totally different. That Baltimore slang, I can't even imitate it. The way they talk in Baltimore and pronounce their words, 100% different from anywhere in the United States and in the world. Craftable Things says, hey, what's up, Alan? What's up, Craftable Things? Always providing vital information and guidance to the industry. I appreciate that. For those of you guys, Craftable Things, I've been seeing you posting a bunch of those rhinestone shirts. I think you should be selling those, and I know they're tedious to make, so that's probably why you're selling the templates. But for those of you guys that are interested in rhinestone stuff, check out Craftable Things. She's probably the best influencer, one of the best, if not the best, in making rhinestones. You know, it's like four of y'all, and what comes to mind is Craftable Things, The Baby's Booty, and what's her name? Light skin. You know her name. I forgot. I'm always liking her stuff on Instagram. Anyway, yeah. So it's two of y'all to come to mind, but it's a third one. I can't remember her name right now. But yeah. Maybe you're talking about Invicta watches. No, Invicta watches are in the malls, but I wasn't talking about Invicta. Invicta watches, they are in the mall, but I've been wearing, I don't wear Invicta anymore. I probably have one more Invicta watch left. I used to have like a case of them, and I used to get my Invictas from Groupon. Because what's crazy about Invicta is you can go into the mall and they would have like a $500 Invicta watch, and I would get that same watch off of Groupon for like $100. I used to be addicted to Groupon, guys. Yeah, but I used to I had to delete it from my cell phone at one point in time because I used to buy so much stuff on Groupon. But yeah, no, I'm not talking about the Invicta stuff. I think it is Swatch that's in the malls. But Invicta, they do sell Invictas in like watch shops inside the malls, but they might have an Invicta store. I'm not sure. I don't go to the mall that often. I do go to King of Prussia Mall like at least once a week to do a deposit in Capital One, because Capital One is like cafe style banking, and the closest Capital One to me is 5 minutes away in King of Prussia Mall, right next to the Apple store, next to the Swatch store, and I think it's Tesla, Swatch, and then Capital One, and across from Capital One, diagonal is the Porsche store. They have a Porsche. They always got cars inside the King of Prussia Mall. Anyway, true. New York did start Timberlands, 100%. Well, New York started wearing Timberlands as a fashion piece as opposed to work boot. Yeah, they started that. I used to drive to King of for Amazon deliveries there. Dope. Yeah, Amazon. I think there's Amazon close by me. I'm not sure. Everyone shops in Manhattan and Los Angeles. That's a fact. Manhattan has some of the best shopping ever. That Manhattan Macy's is probably the best Macy's in the world. Okay, maybe not in the world, but it's got to be like top three. Top three best Macy's in the world has to be that one in Manhattan has to be in the top three. Where else in New York? Canal Street used to be dope, but Canal Street ain't the same anymore. I don't think it's the same. I haven't been there in a while, but I don't think Canal Street is the same. But New York City is, to me, what I used to love about going to New York all the time and being in New York on a regular basis is those sample sales that were all over the city. I got so many different coats that I bought from sample sales in New York. Specifically, there was one across from Penn Station. What was the name of that sample sale? It was the, what's that guy? Andrew Mark. It was an Andrew Mark sample sale that used to happen almost every year. I don't know if it still happens because I'm not up there as often as I used to be, but I know I got like 3 leather coats. I got a ski jacket. I got some Andrew Mark boots. I got some pants. And these sample sales are like, okay, there are only 10 of these made. Okay, there's only 100 of these made. So I've never seen any of the stuff that I have anywhere else. And that's what I like is dope about New York. I got a Sean John. Do I still have that jacket? Yeah, I have a Sean John jacket that's probably only 10 of them. Because stuff like that gets worn in fashion and runway shows, and then they sell it off, and they only made like a certain amount of pieces. So I got the Sean John jacket with like a lot of fur around here. Anyway, Sean John, we shouldn't be talking about that anyway. Totally slipped my mind. So, all right, let's go back. All right. Back to the list right here. All right. Yeah, so these 3/4 sleeves, definitely, that's a fact. Definitely, they are, I've been cutting my shirts when I sew my manual shirts for years like this and making the sleeves a little bit longer. But I have been seeing people already, and for those of you guys that don't know, this right here, this is Sosa, the rapper right here. But let me, hold on. One shirt style that's gonna totally that's gone totally extinct. I wouldn't say that. The thing is, a lot of these styles they don't sell in the stores, but people actually cut their shirts and make them like this. So a lot of the street stuff like is made like this on purpose, but like in the stores they won't sell them. So they're probably getting their stuff from like what they're probably getting their information from what's like available on the mainstream to sell. But yeah, in the hood, people always do stuff like this. One shirt style that's gone totally extinct: the baseball tee, the two-tone look, and the 3/4 length sleeve. For those of you guys that remember, when I made my first shirt, I think it was my second shirt, I made this style of shirt. It's called a raglan. It's a raglan style shirt right here with the sleeves cut this way instead of the sleeves cut right at the shoulders. It's cut from the neckline. That's called a raglan style. All right. So but they offer a distinct alternative to the usual t-shirt or long sleeve. American Apparel was one stop shop for these raglan shirt styles. You know what I mean? So I know what I'm talking about. Give me some props, guys. I know what I'm talking about, right? All right, so let's move on to the next thing. Rockstar aesthetic, 100%. 100%. I can see people doing this. And this is exactly what I was talking about, right? Where I said, I think that people are going to start expressing themselves more in clothes and wearing things that are borderline runway-ish. And this is what I see right there with the rock star aesthetic, right? You see little Uzi Vert right there. Everything got too baggy. What happened to the crotch hugging pants that severed bad boy rockers from Robert Plant on? Whether we look towards early fit pics or Playboy Cardi or little Uzi Vert in their SoundCloud era or the runway, yo, I gotta get a bigger screen. Let me zoom in on this. Jesus, I'm getting blind, y'all. Heidi Slimane for inspiration. The Rockstar uniform or skin tight pants, tees, and leather biker jackets is coming back. I think it's already come back, and certain groups of people have been wearing the clothes like this, specifically rappers. But this is what I'm talking about when I'm talking about the skinny jeans and even the jeans that like it's not even up to his waist. I would not wear my jeans this low. I would not wear my butt out. That's just, I'm too old for that. Yeah, that's not my thing. But I can see people, and I do see people actually in the King of Prussia Mall dressing like this, right? I like the shirt, like the necklace, like the way, I think that's a t-shirt over top of another shirt. I'm not sure. Like the finger rings and all that. He does have on the Nikes with the skinny jeans and the studded out belt right there. So yeah, that's Uzi Vert style. Uzi Vert's style is questionable, and Uzi Vert is from Philly, so shout out to Philly on that. Let me read some comments real fast. That's what I said. We're all the same. New York, Philly, and Baltimore. I don't think we're the same, but I'm probably interpreting that wrong. I'm not sure. Baltimore club music, DC is go-go. Okay, see? Yeah, Baltimore. But it's like that fast style. Go-go, DC go-go, and Baltimore club. Yeah, it's different. Yeah. Go ahead and kick knowledge. A-Dubbs, school us. I'm listening. You funny. I'm not schooling anybody. I'm sure I'm not schooling, because this man right here has been around longer than I've been around, but we're from different generations in different areas. So Baltimore don't do go-go. That's DC. All right, see? Exactly. Yeah, Angel B Designs. That's who I was referring to. Angel B Designs. So it's craftable things, Angel B Designs, and Baby's Booty in no particular order, guys. They're all like fantastic, like as far as rhinestones are concerned. New York and Los Angeles, the fashion district. Yeah, dope places, both places. All right, let's move on. Retro tech, right? So this is retro tech. Okay, this is technology. This is different. Okay, it's not quite what I had in mind. I don't see it. I don't see it. I don't see it at all. You know, want to know why I don't see it? As far as the old school cell phones are concerned, I do see it, but not this side. Is this a what's this? What was this one called? A sidekick? What was this one called? I think this was called a sidekick. We've already seen Gen Z start to embrace wired headphones and PSPs, but there's still plenty of room to take this to another level. Have you considered bricking your phone yet? Bricking. That's the old style cell phones that we used to have. For those young people that are watching this video, this is the old style cell phones that we used to have. We were basically bricks because all you can do is like make calls on them, and you could send a text message. But other than that, it was very, very limited. The pictures were very pixelated, very, very limited. Some of them had no pictures, right? Some of them had no cameras. You couldn't take pictures on them, right? You can only like receive. Yo, we came a long way as far as cell phone technology is concerned, but I don't see the masses going back to having this style of technology as far as cell phones are concerned, and I'll tell you exactly why. I'll tell you why I don't see it. Reason being is, all right, there's several different reasons, right? Right now, a lot of people depend on social media. If you go back to an ancient device like this, you're instantly off of social media. You can't exercise your AI skills. You can't, do any business. You can't upload your videos to Instagram. You can't upload your videos to TikTok. If you're a TikTok seller or if you're a TikTok influencer, you can't shoot YouTube videos on your cell phone if you have one of these old brick phones. So I can't see people. You can't order your Amazon. You can't put your phone on a dashboard and follow Google Maps. I think they're way off on this one. You have to be a certain type of person that deliberately wants to be off the grid and not wants to be rebellious and wants to rebel from social media because you think it's negative and all this other stuff. You don't want to use AI. You want to be so detached from that. You have to be a special type of person to have this old type of tech, and I don't think that's the masses. Because arguably the masses are addicted to social media, because I'm quite sure that you guys have observed wherever you go, you look around, whether it be a restaurant or whether it be on a bus, everybody's like this. So imagine everybody's like this. And even at home, a lot of people are like this. Before you go to bed, a lot of people like this. Death scrolling, doom scrolling, right? A lot of people, we're all like this, right? So if you take that away from us, you're not going to do that to yourself. It's not happening. They're off on this one. Retro tech, I have to disagree with that. So I think that's all they got on that. But yeah, so this list to me was like 50-50. Yeah. I don't know. Retro tech, no. Rockstar aesthetic, yes. Quarter sleeves, yes. Chelsea boots, 50-50. G-Shocks, yes. Nikes, I don't think so. Khakis, yes. Colorful camos, I don't think so. And hockey jerseys, I could see that. And the Pablo Donda style with the large print and the aesthetic, definitely yes. All right, so yeah. This look I could definitely see coming back though, for sure. This, I don't see it. I think people from down south probably, people probably in the southern states, I see this way deep down south with they wearing this type of fashion. But up north, we not doing that. I'm gonna speak for Washington. I'm gonna speak for Baltimore. I don't care what you say, sir. I'm gonna speak for Washington. I'm gonna speak for Baltimore. I'm gonna speak for Philly. I'm gonna speak for New York. We ain't doing that. We're not doing it. All right. So let's just stop that right there. Khakis, yes. G-Shocks, of course, yes. And yeah, like I said, Chelsea boots, 50-50, yes. Definitely with the 3/4 raglan. Rockstar, yes. Retro, no. That's my take on all that, guys. That's my take. Oh, so moving right along, guys. And let me know what fashion that you guys think is people are going to be wearing this year, 2026, because we all need to keep up and we all need to see what's going on. so that we can proceed accordingly with our garment decorating and what we're selling in our merch stores, right? So we can kind of like not even jump on the trends, because if you know anything about me, I don't go with trends. I don't hop on trends. I try to look for stuff and make designs that are like timeless. I don't want to hop on the next thing just because it's popular. That's never been my thing. I don't like it. When people go that direction, I go the opposite direction. The most thing that I do every year is Juneteenth. I do that every year because I love the different sayings and the different commemorating, the people that came before me and stuff like that, African American. So I always do Juneteenth stuff every single year. I go nuts over that stuff. But other than that, I'm not sure. So I'm telling you, mad people wear the color camel. You probably right. If you see it, then obviously they do, but not where I'm at. Not where I'm at. Maybe in DC. I mean, maybe in Baltimore where you are, but not where I'm at. We ain't doing that. We're not doing that. All right. But obviously they do because you see it. So I don't see it up here. And I wouldn't. That's just not my twist. And that's not a lot of my people's. No, we ain't. If I'm going to talk about you, if you up here doing that, I'm going to talk about you. Right? If you my friend and you're up here, I'm gonna crack a few jokes, right? So my son used to have one of those sidekicks, but no, I don't see that coming back. Yeah, I don't see him either. Unless they make an updated version of a sidekick that has all the social media and all the apps. Picture it. You can't do any banking. You can't tap to pay. You can't take pictures with your friends. Not happening. They off on that one. Boost mobile chirp phones. Yeah, those StarTech. What do they call it? I hated those things. People would always be in a grocery store. Nextel phones. I hated those things. And then Sprint started doing it. They had the little flimsy flip phones. I got one of them. It's shameful. I had a Nextel and I had one. But there was nobody for me to talk to because like those phones were legit like construction site things for people. And like I had one, but not that many people had them that were my age and that I knew. So it's like, there was nobody for me to chirp and talk to. You know what I mean? So, yeah. So I would tell, like, one of my friends, his name is Mike, he got one just so I can talk to him. But, like, we weren't the closest of friends, so it's kind of weird. The weird stuff you do. Remember beepers back in the day? Yeah, I remember. Right after beepers, yep. Beepers were the bomb. Back when beepers started going out of style, you could get a beeper. You pay $100. You get the actual beeper, and you get it for the whole year. You're paid off for the whole year. And they started coming out with the mini beepers, and that's right when they started rolling in with the cell phones. And cell phones back then was like expensive as heck. And when they came out with nights and weekends, that's when everybody started going crazy and getting more and more people started getting cell phones. But you wouldn't talk to anybody unless you had free nights and weekends. Shout out to nights and weekends. Who remember nights and weekends? Who remembers free nights and weekends in the chat? Who remember? I know y'all remember nights and weekends. Michael says, bro, I see it in Philly. You don't see nobody in Philly wearing no camouflage, different color camouflage pants, bro. You see regular camo, but you ain't seeing no dudes walking around with no blue and white. Go back. Bro. This little blue and white thing right here, this yellow thing right here, we ain't doing that. We are not. I'm speaking on behalf of everybody in Philadelphia. We ain't doing that. And those of you guys, those people that you did see wearing it in Philadelphia, those are people that probably got it because they got some free clothes or something like that. And they, maybe some homeless people or something like that. But we ain't going in the stores and buying that on purpose, bro. We're not doing that here in Philly. No. I refuse. I bet a lot of Eagles fans be wearing them green camos. Yes, but the regular green, yes, for sure, definitely. Dion Edwards. I don't know what that me refers to, but you could let me know in the chat. But I know you're not wearing those gosh darn Not happening, bro. Not happening. Not happening. I'm gonna go against y'all. Say that's not happening. But we'll see. We'll see. I could be wrong. We'll see what 2026 has to offer. But guys, so earlier today when I was screen printing, right? He said they're fire, bro. Bro, he said, I'm buying you a pair. Absolutely not. Return to sender. Bro, you send me a pair of those, you going to get them right back. Return to sender. Said they're fire. I am not. I refuse to. I will not. I'll show them on the YouTube channel. I'll be like, look what this dude sent me. Guess where they going? Return to sender. I'm not letting you waste your money on that. I'm returning to sender. And you're going to get a credit on your credit card because I'm not wearing it and I'm not letting you waste your money on it. It's not happening. Not happening. We're going to leave that. Leave this original fatigue colors. Maybe the white, black, and gray. Maybe. But I'm still not wearing those. I'm only wearing original fatigue colors. That's it. Original camo. That's it. I'm not doing all this other fancy stuff. All right. I'm a veteran. I'm a United States Navy veteran. And I find it borderline disrespectful, to be honest. And that's not the reason why I'm not wearing it. I'm not wearing it because it's corny. And also because I wore the real uniform. So this is like, it's like, huh? Like, that's probably why I hate it so much, because I wore the real uniform. So it's like, when I look at this, I'm like, no, I'm not faking it. No. And I know it's just fashion as far as this is concerned, but for me, there's a whole list of reasons why I'm not doing it. And the first one that comes to my mind is I'm a military veteran and I wore the real uniform. I'm not wearing no colorful. Yeah, no. All right, so I'm going to leave that right there. He said, I'm dead. I think Michelle's messaging me. Let me see. Yeah, I definitely think it was the homeless people you saw wearing those. Oh, yeah. Dion says she remembers the Nights and Weekends. Nights and Weekends was off the chain. I remember exactly where I was when I first learned about Nights and Weekends. I got my first Nights and Weekends phone, and that night, the first night came. I was at 69th Street. For those of you guys that know where 69th Street is, in Upper Darby in Philadelphia. It's a suburb right outside of West Philadelphia. I was at 69th Street at the movie theater, standing on the steps when it hit 9 o'clock. And I made my first phone call to my boy Sean, and we both said it at the same time. Yo, it was crazy. I remember like it was yesterday. We both said it at the same time. He picked up the phone. We both said Nights and Weekends at the same time. Like, good times, man. Good times. Now everything is just free all day, every day, right? It's crazy. It's crazy. We got 2-3 cell phones now. It's crazy. Yeah. He said, I'm wearing a purple for the Ravens game. Hey, listen, go ahead. Rock out. You lucky that your team is still playing. My team's out. And I'm going to do a whole nother video on that. Yeah, I am biased. I'm not going to lie with the fatigue thing, but I think it's whack. And I can't see no guys in the hood or in any of Philadelphia. I can't see no guys walking around with these colorful fatigues on. I just don't see it. Not in Philly. Philly dudes are way too, like, I don't want to say tough, but this is not in our DNA. This is not something like, okay, the Philly kids in high school, if they wore these colorful, I'm 100% sure they're gonna get teased. They might get beat up. Like, yeah, they're not, yeah, it's not happening. Not here in Philly. And those of you guys that catch the replay, y'all can chime in and let me know what you guys think as far as new here, great chat. I appreciate it. Let me know what you guys think as far as the fatigue pants, and if the colorful fatigue pants are coming back like Complex says they are. I don't see it. But what I do see, what I really want you guys to pay attention to, two things on here. The Donda style with the print, right? With the large print. That's one. Other thing I want you guys to pay attention to is this style right here with the lower sleeves for the t-shirt, baseball style shirt with the 3/4 inch sleeve right there that ends like right here at the arm or a little bit lower. Pay attention to that. I like mine to stop like right above where the arm crease is. Like I like my, like as a matter of fact, right behind this camera right here, I got a cut and sew ready to be stitched together. And it's a Wrangling. It's a gray and red. I cut it, as a matter of fact, in a video, and I was supposed to sew it up. I'm not sure if it was a short or whatever, but it's a Raglan style, gray body with red sleeves, sitting on the couch right behind the camera right now. Raglan style, ready to be sewn. I'll make a video sewing it, as a matter of fact. But I'm going to screen print something on the front first in that Donda style. And that's what I had in my head. And look, what you guys notice is on this shirt right here, look, on this shirt right here is very, very large, legible print from far away. Similar to that Donda style, right? So we're seeing this different font, large print, right? Up here, different font, large print. And on that 3/4 shirt, different font, large print, very, very large print. So we see a theme going on here, right? And different style of shirt, not a regular t-shirt, but the Raglan style. It's dope. It's more real estate to print on, right? And the Rockstar. Pay attention to the Rockstar for you. So keep that in mind also. So you can get creative and you can get fun and you can do different things with your merch. All right. So those are the things I want you guys to pay attention to, guys. Let me read some comments real fast before I get out of here. And my thing just stopped printing. Okay, cool. I'm gonna show you guys what I 3D printed in a second. Lots of ideas though. Yeah, very, 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 very good ideas. Definitely. I'm very new. I'm very intimidated. Not sure where I'm starting in this space. What do you have already and what are you interested in? Like what type of technologies do you have as far as garment decorating is concerned? I wouldn't wear no G-Shock or them boots. That's girlish in my opinion. That's okay. And it is like in Philly, I think in different areas in the media, you used to call it metrosexual. This look right here a couple years ago with the skinny jeans was known as metrosexual. You know what I mean? Metrosexual. That's when you're in touch with your fashion, you're overly fashion and you're darn near like runway. Your clothes are fitting properly, maybe a little bit more tight than properly. That's the metrosexual look. That's what they said. But yeah, it is what it is, guys. I think people are going to be more creative. They're going to be willing to express themselves more with their clothes. I think guys are going to start to sexualize what they wear a little bit more and stuff like that. And it's just different times in my opinion. That's what I think is going to go on. So keep that in mind when you guys are making stuff and as you guys are rolling stuff out in your arsenal and your garment decorating stores. I'm seeing a lot of men and women with baggy styles. That's true. And men very, very into feminine styles now, flowers and roses. Yes, that's true. I even have some cut up pants and I got a floral pattern and I put floral patches underneath the pants. So you're absolutely right. You're on point with that. Yeah. Defensive. Our guys of the last 10 years. The 80s rock star was hideous. I think it was dope. What's going on? Fractals in the building. For those of you guys that don't know what Fractals is, go ahead and check out the Fractals print pods. This guy has a revolutionary technology for helping you screen print even easier. So go check out Fractals is in the building. So earlier today, as I was doing my little screen print experiment, I got these little small inks. Great segue, by the way. Fractals, great, perfect timing. Got these little small inks. And my inks, because down here is normally cold, just got the space heater. The heat for some reason doesn't come down here good at all. But my ink was very lumpy and clumpy, and I didn't really have anything to mix it up with. So what I mixed up with, I got a pen and I just mixed and put it in front of the heater and mix. It took forever. So after I did my little screen print experiment with the My Screen, I said, man, I could really use a mixer. I need to make I need to 3D print something that I can put on my drill so I can mix the ink easier. So I printed this right here. Let me show you guys. You switch cameras so you guys can see. Let me switch to this one. It's better view right here. So I printed this. This hooks onto my drill right here. Right. All right. And then I can mix my ink. So we got the medium size one. We got the super small one. And these are good for stirring DTF inks also. And I just printed up a bigger one just now, and it just got finished in the back. So let's take that off the 3D printer right now so you guys can check it out. So, bam. We just made 2 more of them. Take it off the tray right here. Crack it off. And this is a nice one, and it'll fit in the top and stir my whole thing up at the same time. Get this, put this in here. That goes in there, and that's ready to be used already, just like that, to stir up my inks. All right. So yeah, I should put these on my website if people want to buy them. Make a little something else. But yeah, these little ink stirs right here, different sizes, right? So yeah, and I think I'm gonna take this one off of here. I squeeze that on real tight. Jeez, I'm gonna have to print another one. And I print another leg for this. I like this size better than the small size right here. And I like this size will start the whole thing up. Anyway, I digress. But anyway, guys, that's what I've been up to today. Gonna be doing a lot more screen printing and putting more screen print merch on my website. And the reason why I'm pushing screen printing on y'all like this is because I try to give you guys the best information that I can looking forward so you guys can future-proof your businesses. And embroidery and screen print is a crazy combination. And DTF is the wave right now, guys. DTF is definitely the wave, and it's definitely making a lot of people a lot of money right now. But if you want to start a clothing brand, and if you want to have quality print on quality garments that last, you're going to either have to embroider or you're going to have to screen print. All right. And bling and you know, the rhinestone stuff, that's in a whole nother lane. That's just, I think bling shirts and stuff like that is in a total different lane all by themselves, because it's rare that you see. Matter of fact, if you go in a department store or in a mall or anything, you cannot find anything with rhinestones on it that's blinged out the way that the craft community and people like Craftable Things, Angel B Designs, and the Baby's Booty, you can't find anything like that in any store. So as far as I'm concerned, that's a niche that you're only going to find in our community, because mainstream, they don't sell clothes like that, right? It's like you'll see like a sprinkle of little something here and there, but there's no store that you can go in that you can see a whole bunch of bling rhinestone shirts that says different stuff like that, and like different, that's specifically the craft community. So if you're into that, you're always going to make money, right? With that. But as far as like coming out with a brand, guys, you're going to have to embroider, and you're going to have to do some type of screen print, because the perceived value of the garment, right? What's going to happen right now, what I predict and what I've been doing, what I advise you guys to consider doing also. There's a time and place for everything. And unless, depending, when it comes to the stuff that I'm selling in my store, I'm converting everything, every garment, every piece into like a solid quality blank, as opposed to a Gildan G500 or even a Next Level, right? Because people perceive Next Level to be, but I don't. But I'm getting every t-shirt in my store at some point this year is going to be a high end, where the base is probably like a $12 shirt, a $12 blank, and then we're adding on to that either embroidery or printing onto that in my store. That's what I'm doing right now. Only high top tier exclusive stuff in my store moving forward, right? I got some low end stuff right there to still, but after that sells out, I'm replacing it with the higher version. And I started doing that already with some of my hoodies. One, because of one of my clients told me out, yo, he ordered a hoodie and he got his in the mail. And he said, yo, he called me on the phone. He was like, yo, I got the hoodie, man. I just want to tell you, man, like, no offense, but you're not charging enough. A customer ordered something from me, got it, called me, told me, no offense, but bro, for what you gave me, you're not charging enough. Like, and he had a whole at least hour conversation about why I'm not charging enough and like the quality of garment that he got from me and the way the stitching was, how large the stitching was, how detailed the stitching was. He's like, yo, bro, you're not charging enough. And he told me how much he recommends that I should charge. But one of the things with that is you can't put it on the same medium to low tier garment, right? So if you want to charge more, you have to spend a little bit more, right? And the base has to be a little bit more premium, right? I'm going the highest premium, the thickest shirt I can find, the best shirt I can find, the highest GSM. In some cases, I'm making each of the garments from scratch. That's why I've been practicing in the background. I don't show y'all all the time, but like I'd say 80% of the things I do, I don't even put on YouTube anymore. Like it used to be like 50-50, but now 80% of the stuff that I do, I'm not on YouTube because I'm sitting there practicing and I'm trying to do stuff and I have no time to pick up a camera to show you guys what I'm doing because I'm trying to figure stuff out and learn stuff, right? And between that, I'm filling orders and stuff like that. So I try to like get stuff in when I can, but overall, no. So Michael says, I don't use Gildan or Next Level, only Pro Club, Shaka, and AS Color. Yeah, Shaka's shirts are thick. As a matter of fact, that shirt that I printed on earlier on my Instagram, that's a Shaka wear shirt right there. AS Color and Pro Club. Yeah, so yeah, you got the right idea, man. But in some instances, I'm not washing my hands of Gildan or Next Level because in some instances, if somebody's like for those custom clients that have a specific budget, right? Like for family reunions or like for school trips and stuff like that. And for people that have a limited budget that order custom merch, listen, you got to go back to the base. You know, everybody can't get a Shaka wear shirt, right? If you want to do $12 each, if you want to do $12 a piece, you know what I mean? Or $16 a piece front and back. Nah. G500, that's what you're getting, unless you're paying a little bit more, right? Right or wrong? You guys let me know in the comments. If only did merch and my eye is very luxury like. Okay. What's some good options to start for a newbie? Whatever I start will be niche, luxury, top price. Okay, so if you want to do niche, luxury, top price, you're going to have to do screen print, embroidery with the highest GSM, thickest, aka thickest blank that you can find, right? So, and you can't start off like that. And the reason why I say you can't start off like that is because if you don't have any experience with these machines, don't have any experience with embroidery machines, don't have any experience screen printing, when you first start using the equipment, you're going to have to give yourself some time to learn how to use the equipment properly to produce a quality garment. So you're going to have to start practicing on maybe a Gildan or maybe some used t-shirts that you got. So your skills can get up to the level, to the point where that final garment looks like it commands that high price, luxury price, right? So you can't start from there. You're gonna have to learn the machine. It's gonna take you some time to get to the point where you can charge that price that you want to charge, top price, luxury, right? Because I mean, unless you're doing some stuff like Balenciaga, right? Let's go to Balenciaga's website so I can show you guys what I'm talking about, right? If you're doing some Balenciaga stuff, let's go on their website and see what I'm talking about. All right, let's go to like all right, accept cookies. let's go to like men's t-shirts, something like that. Red bags, accessories, shoes, t-shirt. All right. All right. Now you see how this is like the print is like weird kind of sorta. They like make stuff that's like it almost like your mistakes are part of the shirt. These are not good representations of what I'm talking about right here. Let me find one. Like this, for example. Like this looks like it's, you know what I mean? Like doesn't have to be perfect type of situation. Balenciaga embodies that in my opinion. Like they're a lot of their stuff is like specifically in the Balenciaga mall in the Balenciaga store in the King Prussia Mall. I walk in there and I walk right. I walk in there and I walk right back out because I'm like I'm not wearing none of this shit. Like, like look at this, look at this, look at this. And not for nothing, but this stuff is expensive. Like high luxury, high ticket. Look, nine men's security tape logo T-shirt, oversized in black faded red. $925 for this right here. Let me take this off the screen. $925 for this shirt right here. $925, guys. There you go. $925. And see how this font is like got a bunch of stuff going on? It's almost like it doesn't have to, like, if you're a beginner screen printer, you could probably mess around and mess up your screen print and it still looks like something Balenciaga produced, right? So that's what I'm talking about when I say Balenciaga. Like, go in a Balenciaga store and you guys will understand what I'm talking about. Like, a lot of the stuff, you go on a shelf, you go through the racks and you're like, yo, this shit looks like old. It looks like somebody wore this already. Like, it looks like it belongs in a thrift store. I don't know. This is a bad representation. Like, a lot of stuff on the website. But you go in the store in the mall. I know some of you guys already know what I'm talking about. But yeah, if you want to do high fashion, you're gonna have to. Everything's gonna have to be up. Like everything's gonna have to be up, and everything's gonna have to be top tier. So you're demanding something, but it commands a certain amount of knowledge as far as your working equipment to produce this stuff. If you're gonna go that route, now you can totally not go that route and just like get your stuff made. Right? You can get your stuff made and then you can, skip all that learning curve, learn the machines, and you can just go straight and get yourself made by professionals that already make garments. But then you're going to have to spend a lot of money because you're going to have to do some research and development, right? You're going to have to, draw up some samples and come up with some sizes and stuff like that, give them a size chart and all that other stuff. And then you're going to have to, pay them to make a sample, send you a sample. You're going to have to tell them what changes you want, get paid to get another sample made and stuff like that until you get everything together. So it's levels to all this stuff. All right. That's all I'm trying to say. All right. So, I like your City Lab here in New York. I like City Lab here in New York. Thick shirts. Okay. So is that like a t-shirt blank City Lab? I'm not sure what that is. I made my son a Shaka wear. He paid me. He loved it. And it's a great sale. Definitely, definitely. Shaka. Yo, listen, you can't go wrong with Shaka wear. My customers don't mind paying for lux than buying something every other person is wearing. Cough, Gildan and Hanes. That's true. That's true. Everybody's wearing Gildan. And you can tell a Gildan shirt when you see one. Like, and you can tell a premium shirt when you see one. You're like, yo, that's a nice heavy shirt. You can tell by the neckline. You can tell by just the fabric and how thick the fabric is and how the shirt drapes on you. You can just tell a nice quality garment versus something cheap. Like you can just tell, right? So let's see what else we got here. Understand, appreciate it. I'm interested. Want to get my hands dirty. Well, there you go. If you want to get your hands dirty, then you got to get some equipment. You got to get an embroidery machine. And you have to get a some screen print and stuff. You could because this is the thing with DTF. DTF is dope and all, but DTF is not high fashion luxury, right? Unless you're ordering screen printed transfers, I guess, because that's screen print, right? They screen print on a thing and you can heat press it on. But even still, screen printed transfers is still not as dope to me and not as pristine as screen printing directly onto the garment, right? You guys let me know what you guys think about that. There is a difference between screen printing directly on the garment and using a screen printed transfers. Now, some luxury brands definitely use screen printed transfers. That's a fact. I know that to be a fact. So that is an option for your top tier luxury brand, screen printed transfers. So yeah, all right. So guys, good talk. It's a brand, yes, and City Lab is like Shockwear. Okay, so it's thick like Shockwear. That's dope. I'm gonna have to look it up. On the internet. We're gonna have to get up on our City Lab, guys, and check that out. So guys, that's all I got for you. My website is A-Dubb Production, no, AlanAwade.com or A-Dubb Productions. Let me put it up on the screen right here. There we go. Scroll. Let me see. Boom. All right, I'll leave that one up. AlanAwade.com or ADubbProductions.com is my website where you can order custom DTFs. You can even order custom shirts, order custom stickers. Why not bring the website up so you guys can see it real fast? AlanAwade.com right here. Boom. My website right here. I have to do some changing around, but do some menu changes. I planned on doing that today, didn't get a chance to. This site is going to change slowly. I'm going to keep the custom DTFs up there so you guys can order custom DTFs and stuff like that, along with stickers and labels and stuff like that. And I'm going to keep my stuff that I order, like the embroidery box and stuff like that. But I'm going to take down a lot of stuff, and it's going to be strictly like more like of a high fashion brand. Like not high fashion, but like top tier. I don't even want to call it a brand, but top tier merchandise. Let's just put it like that. Top tier merch that you can't get anywhere else but my store, right? And maybe I'll still have my brand in there. Maybe, I don't know. But right now, what I'm trying to tell you guys is there's no rules. According to what you guys want to do, don't listen to these people saying like, this is the way you come out with a brand, this is the way you do a little bit. But there are proven methods and proven tactics that you can use. But right now, with the technology that we have available at our fingertips and all the AI resources that we have, there's a lot of different ways that you can do things, guys. So think outside the box, set your website up according to the experience that you want the customer to have. Put out whatever it is that you want to put out. So at the end of the day, you won't look back and think, I wonder what would have happened if I would have done this or would have done that, right? Shout out to A-Dubb. Shout out to Philly. I appreciate that, Dion. Shout out to Baltimore. Shout out to DC. Shout out to, everywhere else. Brick City, New Jersey, South Jersey, North Jersey. Shout out to, Camden. Shout out everywhere, guys. I'm about to get out of here, man. It's time to roll out. I'm tired. I gotta get some sleep. I'll talk to you guys later, man. I wanted to go live a little while ago, earlier today, but I couldn't. I had to get out of it. I had stuff to do. I had to get my workout in, and I had to experiment with my screen print stuff. So, try different things on screen print equipment. Had fun. My nigga, guys. Peace.